Hey there, tech fans. Today I've got the brand new Orei UHD14-EX230-K HDMI splitter and extender kit. This product allows you to very easily share all of your media content from one location with 4 remote locations at the same time, up to 230 feet away over a single Cat 6 or Cat 7 LAN cable. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content, and it's both HDMI 2.0 as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's plug and play compatible with all of your modern media gear. The transmitter provides local loopback functionality, which allows you to continue to enjoy the content at the primary location while you're simultaneously sharing it with your 4 remote locations. And the kit includes a set of infrared blasters that will collect up the remote control signals from those remote locations and pass those back digitally over the same LAN connection to the primary location so you can remotely control the content you're watching. And finally, the product employs the very latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply is all you'll need to operate the entire solution, because the power required for those remote receivers is sent over that same LAN cable. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit. And then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter module and the receiver modules and explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use them. And then I'll come back one more time and point out some of the special features that this product provides that you can use to compare it to other products you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the sender module. You'll find 4 receiver modules, 1 for each of those 4 remote locations. You'll find a single 12-volt, 2-amp DC power supply. You can plug this into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the sender module and again provides all the power you'll need for the entire solution. You'll find 5 infrared blasters. 4 of those are for the receivers, 1's for the transmitter. They look the same, but they're labeled, so make sure you plug the TX into the sender. You'll find bracketing kits you can use to mount the modules up off the ground and out of the way. And a full instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and a lot of really good information about the kit that you'll need to understand in order to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the modules, and then I'll come back and point out some of the special features that this product provides. Inside the kit, you'll find a single sender module and 4 remote receiver modules. The sender module is located at your primary site, wherever the content is that you'd like to share with your 4 remote locations. And the remote receivers are located at the secondary sites, wherever you'd like to enjoy that content from the primary site. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable and helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. Let's start with the sender module. On either side of the cabinet, you'll find these mounting holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the front of the module, starting on the left, is a reset button. Once you apply power and turn it on, you can hold that reset button down for a few seconds to reset the module if needed. To the right of that is a power indicator. Again, once you've added power and turned it on, it goes through a power on self-test, and once it passes that test, it'll light that LED letting you know the module's ready to use. On the rear of the sender module, starting on the left, you'll find a DC input port, and that's used with the included power supply. You can simply plug that power supply into any standard wall outlet, and the other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there and provides all the power you'll need for the sender module and all 4 of the receiver modules as well, because of the power over cable technology that's included in this product. To the right of that is a 3.5mm port labeled infrared out, and that's where one of the infrared blasters plugs in, and it's important you select the one that has TX on the label. To the right of that are 2 full-sized HDMI ports labeled HDMI in and loop out. The HDMI in port connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your 4 remote locations. The sender module provides local loopback functionality, which allows you to continue to enjoy the content at that site while you're simultaneously sharing it with your 4 remote locations. And if you'd like to take advantage of that feature, you can connect the second HDMI cable from this port to a local monitor to enjoy that content. Finally, to the right of that are 4 LAN ports labeled out 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is where one end of the Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable between the sender and each of your 4 remote locations plugs in. Always make sure you use a high quality cable to make that connection. The receiver module, pretty straightforward. Again, metal enclosure. mounting holes on either side for the bracketing kit. On the one end, you'll find another reset button. You can hold that down once power has been applied to reset the module. In the center is a LAN port, and that's where the other end of that Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable from the sender module plugs in. To the right of that is a power indicator. Now again, because this system uses power over cable technology, you won't need a power supply at those remote locations. The minute you make that LAN connection to the sender module and turn that sender module on, the power required for these remote receivers is sent over that LAN connection. So once power arrives, the receivers start their internal power on self-test, and once they pass that, they'll light that LED. On the other end, you'll find a DC input port. You won't need to use that because of the power over cable technology. To the right of that is another full-sized HDMI port labeled HDMI out, and you'll use this port to connect the cable to a local monitor to enjoy the content. And finally, to the right of that is another 3.5mm port labeled infrared in, and that's where the other infrared blaster plugs in, and you'll want to make sure that one says receiver or RX. That's pretty much it for the kit. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now here are a few really important things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Orei UHD14-EX230-K HDMI splitter and extender kit with other products you may be considering. The first thing, and probably most important thing, is that this single product is really two products in one. It's an HDMI splitter, which takes a single media stream and allows you to display that on 4 monitors at the same time. But it's also an HDMI extender, which means those monitors can be up to 230 feet away from the primary location. A lot of other products on the market may function well as a splitter or an extender, but this one provides both of those features in a single unit. Another important difference is the fact that this product fully supports 4K content at up to 60 frames per second. A lot of other HDMI splitters or extenders may only support lower resolutions like 1080p, or if they support 4K at all, it may only be 30 frames a second. So knowing you've got a product that can support the higher resolution at the higher frame rate means you're going to have a beautiful picture at your remote locations. This product is also HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2 certified. And the reason that's important is because the HDMI standard has gone through a lot of changes in recent years, a lot of new features have been introduced, so knowing you've got a product that's on one of the latest versions of HDMI means you can immediately take advantage of all those features. And the HDCP certification is equally important because that controls copy protection, so knowing you're on one of the latest versions of HDCP means you can play a wider variety of files using the system. The local loopback functionality is another nice feature because that allows you to continue to enjoy the content at the primary location while you're sharing it with your remote locations. I also like the fact that the infrared blasters are included because they provide complete remote control from those secondary locations over the content you're watching. And finally, the inclusion of power over cable technology greatly simplifies your wiring because it means with a single power supply, you can operate the entire solution. So everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, stay nerdy